as you can see, we've ran all new wiring for our AC portion of the trailer. Since we're putting all new plugs in and stuff like that, figured why not, since I'm an electrician, just run all new wiring. And we're going to be installing an electric water heater, 7-gallon electric water heater. So I ran a circuit just for it by itself because it pulls about 12.5 amps. So we're just going to run it on a 15 amp or 20 amp circuit and all by itself. Just pulled this one. This will be for, we're going to be setting up either a microwave, convection little oven that we bought for the trailer. And that way most of our grilling and gas operation will be outside here. We'll be fixing up the table there. As you can see, we've done some bracing back there as well, so we can add a bigger table. So most of our grilling and fire stuff will be outside, and we'll have a microwave in here, refrigerator there. You can open up the door, grab your stuff.
I am excited that the refrigerator is going to be right here.
If you don't label your wiring, you're not really going to know what it is. And I've got it long enough so when I put the new power converter in, I'll be able to do all that, and I've made all this other stuff longer. And now I got to run the home run.
And we are updating to a
50 amp instead of a 30 amp. Since we're going to add a bench seating right here, I made this a little longer so I could actually run it on the floor and up into the back of the box. I'm going to put some, encase it in flex from the wall to here up, and then I'll be able to secure it to the back side on a piece of wood and up into my receptacle box, which we'll have on the front of our bench seating here. And that way we can still use it as storage and don't have to worry about nicking the wires or anything like that with that piece of metal flex, and it attached to the wall here. It's going to be great. So we're going to pull this. So to feed this receptacle and our outside receptacle, and then we're going to have a little charging station here, you know, for during the daytime that they can put their cell phones on and just sit there and have it charged. I do have
which will also be great to be right next to the doors up well, because you'll be able to just reach in and plug your phone up.
We do have these. Really excited. They have the USB built in, so you can still use your plug, and have two things with USB charging your phones, whatever you need to charge. We have 3 of those. We're going to put in the trailer. I have a new GFCI for over here near the water area.
And we're getting rid of this because we're not going to have any gas coming into the trailer.
All going to be outside. Now I'm just going to run it behind everything. Primarily just getting rid of all this non-essential DC wiring. This is a butt splice, so you can butt the 2 wires up together. That's why they call it a butt splice. Since we did away with the galley switch, just rerouted all the wiring. Now, to take place of the switch, we're going to put the switch back together, but we're just going to butt splice it together. And by butt splice, that means end to end, and that's the kind of connectors you got to buy.
Hand me one, I'll put one in front.
And since I'm dealing with 16 gauge wire, I got the 16 to 14 gauge butt splice. I also have smaller wire, 22 to 18, and they're red, and that's for the smaller wire. And yellows are usually 12 to 10 gauge butt splice. Put this in here. And I have my crimpers from work. And you have an insulated and non-insulated. Insulated. That's one side. Got some handy dandy shrink wrap that you don't actually have to. But me being who I am, I like to do things right. I usually give it about 3/4 of an inch to a 1/2 inch past the wire, get a good seal here. Cut it off. Slide that back down. Down. Nice good connection. Slide your heat shrink back over. If you had a heat gun, that would work too, real quick and easy. Use a lighter. Now, besides having these crimpers for insulated and non-insulated crimps, I also have a pair of strippers. And I have an insulated and non-insulated crimp. This is what I use on the control side. It's faster with a heat gun, but if you don't have a heat gun, you got a lighter. There we go. Nice twisted end, buttered up. Goes over the top. We're in the insulated area. Cut down. Just give it a good tug. Verify that you got a good snug connection. Because once you heat shrink it, you don't necessarily see it anymore. There we go. Back up the lighter.
So this is a watertight connection?
Yes. And outgoing to another receptacle. So the joints are made with pigtails for the receptacle that goes here. Ground, or hot, neutral. And all wires are up and in the back of the box. That way when you make it up, just pop the thing in there. I'm going to pop this in. There it is. And it's just the perfect depth to keep it, when you push in that receptacle, it's pushing against the back of the trailer. So I usually, when I'm out in the field, we're going to do a regular receptacle here for the, for the refrigerator underneath. Usually do about hand's width outside the box. Just trim everything up. And this is a number 12 wire, so I use a number 12 slot. Sweet. Strip a little more off in there. Grab your hook. Curve. Should always load ground first. Take the ground. And give it a good pinch. Alright, so as you can see, you have silver screws with a gold background. You have gold screws with a gold background. Silver always goes to white. Gold is your hot side. And you can also look here. The bigger of the two slots, and this one's got a T slot, is your neutral side. Your smaller side is the hot side. That's where you get your power from. If you remember that, then you know what side the screws go. And you'll know there's no power on, so I'm not checking power. But if you're trying to do this with power, make sure that your power is off to the area. Okay. And then commercial settings, we usually do ground up. That way, if anything happens to fall, and for whatever reason, if there's a little tiny piece of metal and it fell in between what's plugged in and here, it would just hit the ground. And normally in households it's like this. So if you got a plug, it's plugged in, and some piece of metal just happens to get back there between the plug, the receptacle and the plug, it could cause a spark. Or you could also start a fire. And I just usually bend it down, put it up.